Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of SmackDown. While I think this episode kind of felt like a filler episode, outside of Edge, Roman Reigns and Finn Bálor, I don't think we got anything that entertaining, but I do appreciate the fact that Finn Bálor has a spine. Finally, Finn Bálor is not smiling anymore. He got a spine. I predicted that Finn Bálor will forget about John Cena, about Roman Reigns, and only focus on Corbin. Nah. In NXT, Finn Bálor finally got a spine. He has a problem with John Cena basically stealing his match at SummerSlam. And I know many of you want me to talk about this, and I should probably save it for Greatness of Wrestling. At this point, I don't want to talk about it anymore. At this point, it's just business as usual. Imagine being 2K right now. WWE 2K22, rebuild gameplay, smoother controls, the biggest roster ever. Scratch that. WWE 2K22, whatever is left. Nick Khan has more control than Vince McMahon at this point, and it doesn't look very good. I didn't know Vince McMahon is that submissive. So let's talk about SmackDown. The show kicked off with Sasha Banks, and I know I'll go to IWC jail for this, but Sasha Banks, in my honest, humble opinion, is very bad on the microphone. Her delivery is just odd to me. It always sounds like she's practicing and not taking it seriously. Shut up! Shut up, you stupid son of a bitch! Sasha is the GOAT, man. Sasha is the GOAT. Look, Mark, this is just my opinion. I think she's a great wrestler in the ring. She's phenomenal on the microphone. I just don't understand it. She doesn't sound believable. Come on, Mark! To me, she just doesn't sound believable. It seems like she's trying way too much and it's actually not helping her at all. Sasha says she's back, and that means it's boss time on SmackDown. She says she came back for the spotlight she deserves. She will never let anyone steal that spotlight again because she's the GOAT. None of the SPs and all of that crap would have happened if it wasn't for Sasha Banks because she's a legend. And she came back to make Bianca pay. Of course, we saw Bianca Belair, and she says if you want that title shot, you're on. It's happening at SummerSlam. Then we saw Vega. Obviously, she wants the championship match as well. And Belair says, I'll see Banks at SummerSlam, and I'll see you tonight in the main event of SmackDown. I guess I'm fine with it, but I don't understand why is it that every championship storyline right now has to have someone third wheeling. It's Finn Bálor, it's Zelina Vega, who have nothing to do, like they don't add anything to these stories. Obviously, I like Finn Bálor being, in the spotlight, but we're talking Roman Reigns versus John Cena. We only need promos in the same ring with these two gentlemen. That's all we need. Finn Bálor doesn't need to third wheel this rivalry. Same goes for Zelina Vega. She adds nothing. We saw the SmackDown Tag Team Champion Jey Uso versus Dominik Mysterio in a pretty entertaining match. Obviously, this time Dominik believes he could beat Uso without his father's help, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Dominik goes for the big splash but gets distracted by his dad and Jimmy. Jey takes advantage and hits a super kick, then goes to the top rope for the big Uso splash and wins the match.
Mijo, a big spanking is waiting at home,
he said to his son Dominik Mysterio.
We're familia. We need the chemistry that Goldberg and his son have.
There's some heat between two families, Mysterio's and Goldberg's, a match I would definitely love to see. Now, I don't want to get in trouble, but I actually have a leaked phone conversation between Rey Mysterio and Goldberg.
Hi, Bill. I don't know how to say this, but me and my amigo are losing chemistry. Can you help us out?
Chemistry? Is this Bobby?
No, it's Ray.
Bobby, I'm coming for the WWE Championship, Bobby. You're next.
Dad, I think it's Rey Mysterio.
It's Ray.
Mysterio? Sounds like Bobby Lashley
Bill,
to
it's
me.
Rey Mysterio.
Bobby, you're next. Now give me that iron, son. I need to prove myself.
As you can probably guess by that conversation, Bill is a very intelligent man. We saw a championship contenders match, the Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews versus King Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. Instead of having a number one contenders match, right now we have a championship contender match every week, which is one of the worst ideas you could ever think of. A champion losing will get you a championship match. In theory, that makes sense, but right now it's happening every damn week. You're basically, every week, you're basically seeing a champion of the brand losing a match. What's the matter with the WWE lately? I don't get it. Now in this match, Shinsuke Nakamura won by disqualification when Aziz interfered. But Shinsuke Nakamura still came out on top. At least he didn't pin Apollo Crews, but this kind of match shouldn't happen in the first place. Number 1 contenders match. Owens versus Zayn versus Nakamura. Winner gets a match at SummerSlam. Sometimes simplicity is a lot better. Paul Heyman has a problem with the contract, the way John Cena just signed a contract that wasn't his in the first place. As he should. I mean, it didn't make any sense whatsoever, and Adam Pearce just made a horrible decision in kayfabe. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, and Finn Bálor does have a problem with that, but he has a problem with King Corbin and John Cena. Adam Pearce is the one who made that match official, so Finn, kick Pearce's ass. We saw Tamina Snuka versus Tegan Nox. Once in a lifetime, some people say. Tegan Nox won the match and broke my heart because I'm a huge Tamina fan. I mean, don't make me shy right here. Tamina mark right here. She's just the GOAT. Speaking of GOATs, Edge made his way into the ring and he got one hell of a promo. This guy is so believable. By the way, I just respect how Edge is so interactive with the fans. That's just so cute. They're going all in with the story, man. Basically, we saw a conversation between Edge and Seth Rollins and they acknowledge the fact that these two are always being compared. Like, you probably heard this already. People are saying Seth Rollins is the new Edge of the WWE. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think he's on that level. But, we heard these comparisons a lot. But Edge says Seth Rollins is just Edge light. He proposes a match at SummerSlam, but Seth Rollins declines. Seth Rollins also started talking about Edge's family, and that's when the line was crossed. Edge keeps comparing himself to Seth Rollins, saying that Seth Rollins is just Edge light, and all these years he's just trying to be just like Edge, but he can't succeed in that. And that's when Seth Rollins got angry, and the match is on. We're seeing that match at SummerSlam. This might be the best storyline we have right now. By far. Seth is great on the microphone. Edge is probably the best right now. I love this. Like I've said, Balor finally acknowledges that there is a problem. He's gonna take care of Corbin, and John Cena is next. Big D energy from Finn Bálor right here. We saw the Street Profits versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler in a pretty okay match, but it just didn't feel quite important in my opinion. The Street Profits won. Then we saw a championship contenders match. Bianca Belair versus Zelina Vega, of course, a championship contenders match. Love these! During the match, Sasha Banks interfered, tried to distract Bianca Belair, but Bianca still won the match. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm interested in the story, I think the match is gonna be great. I'm just saying, Sasha Banks doesn't make me believe. Of course, we saw Finn Bálor versus Baron Corbin. Before the match, Corbin apologizes to Finn Bálor. Finn Bálor says apology not accepted. We saw the match in which obviously Finn Bálor won. He says he's not happy about what happened last week. The old Finn Bálor would just smile. That's what the old Finn Bálor would do. You cost him the match, Finn Bálor smiles. You steal his car, Finn Bálor smiles. You burn his house, Finn Bálor smiles. You disrespect his family, Finn Bálor smiles. But the old Finn Bálor is dead, probably buried alongside AJ Styles. This Finn Bálor has a problem with that. He wants to face Roman Reigns, and if he has to, he's going to face John Cena to get that match. Roman Reigns interrupts, and he says, remember, I actually decided to give you the opportunity, but keep my name out of your mouth. He throws the microphone at Finn Bálor, but Finn Bálor, like I've said, finally received a spine, so he pushes Reigns out of the ring. The tensions are rising until we saw the Usos against Finn Bálor, but Finn Bálor fights off both of the Usos. Roman Reigns takes off the beautiful jacket, and we saw the big brawl. And let's be fair, Finn Bálor was booked really strong right here. If it wasn't for the Usos again interrupting, he would have came out on top. But of course, we saw the Usos 3-on-1, and that's how the show ends with Roman Reigns absolutely destroying Finn Balor. So I mean, it's pretty obvious what is happening right here. John Cena loses at SummerSlam, Finn Bálor is next. I respect that. But you know, it makes things a bit more predictable, obviously. And it takes away a spotlight from a match that is probably the biggest match possible in wrestling right now. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. You don't do that. You shouldn't take the spotlight away from this kind of match. If anything, it would have been a lot better if Roman Reigns beats John Cena and then we see Finn Bálor returning to SmackDown. It is what it is though, I'm not saying it's not entertaining, it certainly is. It's just unneeded. All we need is promos between Roman Reigns and John Cena in the same ring, because it's a whole different Roman Reigns and there's so much potential that WWE are just wasting right now. But that was your SmackDown, still a pretty decent show. Thank you for watching, and as always, click that like button to grow your Coco Jumbo. The great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.